students.
We'd love to share the blame with you. Dexter wants to know if he can make a statement.
I'm going to put myself out there too. A lot of times as students we get it a little wrong, and sometimes we misinterpret what our role is. And over 2 years of doing, well, a year going into a second year of serving in student government, you learn a little bit of how things work. And so our role is not to dictate or to make the rules. We're given an opportunity to work with, which is an opportunity. It's really that. And so what we ask the students to do is to please engage with the process in a way that is appropriate and makes sense. And so with the General Assembly, this is an opportunity for 20 students that are not necessarily a part of the Executive Cabinet of Student Association to get their voice heard and to represent their constituents. In shared governance, our role is to share. It is to verbally connect and make your presence known in a formal way. And so if you are willing to do that, a lot of times we have people complain. I was on the floor last night and a bunch of guys are wanting, all types of stuff. And so my first question is, what are you willing to do about it? I mean, I'd go to school too. I don't work here. I do work here, but I don't work here. I'm a student. And so that is a part of the chemistry of all of it, is that for people and for students to truly benefit, residential, commuter, everyone, for us to really benefit, you have to engage in the process. And so we're encouraging you to do that. We've been given an opportunity that we haven't had in almost 8 years to really engage and to let our voice be heard. So I'm really counting on you to step up to the plate and to do that this year. Next question. This is directed to Dr. Rutland. What would you want to do or plan to do to build school spirit?
Well, I think that it is organic as much as it is intentional. And it is happening as people feel better about themselves and better about their school and better about going to class. An 81.1% retention rate on your freshman class is indicative of a sense of school spirit. Now there are specific ways that can be translated, and I'll give you a couple of them. One is, take for example, this is just an example, but it is a good example, and that's being involved in and supportive of and excited about the athletic events. I urge you to be involved. Come to the basketball games and attend the baseball games and get involved with athletics. Be involved in, and I've mentioned that to Dexter, to come up with a program. I said, you all work from student life. That's not an engine I need to drive. And he's responded to that very nicely. And promote your school, but you can't do that. I can't just say to you, feel better about your school. That has to happen organically. It has to happen systemically. It is happening. It's percolating to the surface. Leadership is extremely important, and student leadership is the most important. There's only a certain extent to which what faculty say in the classroom, or the president should say from the chapel, or whatever. There's only a certain extent to which that changes school spirit. School spirit really rises and falls on the shoulders of student leadership, and that's precisely where the responsibility rests. So I think that's happening, and I think it will happen more and more and more. Hey, can I go back to my mind works slowly. Sometimes I think of the answer. I get in my car on the way home and say, "Oh, I know how to answer that." But I did think of one other thing. How about how are students' voices heard? Is one part of that question. Let me give you an example of how that happens formally and informally. When I first got here, there were one of the things I asked Drs. Boyd and Guajardo, what are some of the tension points with the student body? What are some things that, talk to me about that? Well, their ear is closer to the ground. The dorm assistants, the residence assistants work for them. They hear, so it filters up to me. They said to me, they said, look, well, one of the things is the issue of how the curfews are set. So I said, okay, I'm brand new. I've been on the job, 2 weeks. Explain to me about the curfews. An hour later, I said, okay, look, I have an earned PhD and I cannot understand this. So we're going to have to get this simple enough for the most simple-minded person on the campus, i.e. the president. We all come in at the same time, regardless of gender. and regardless of night. Let's just simplify this. That was a direct response to issues of student life. Now then, having said that, there will be things. Remember that the maturity level of an 18-year-old freshman and the judgment level of an 18-year-old freshman may not be where the 49-year-old and holding chairman of the board is. So there may be a gap there. And so you know, they can say, hey, you know, I want a water slide in the men's dorm, and my voice isn't being heard. Yes, it is. And we heard you. We did. The answer was no. Is that making sense?
And the next question. Hi, Dad. Happy birthday. I don't think that's a question.
Come on.
And the next question
Do you know when my birthday is, baby? I'll sing it to you.
I don't know if we can get a green cake for that, but we can try. The next question is in reference to financial aid. Do you have any plans for offering more financial aid for students? And secondly, improving the customer service within the financial aid department so the only burden students face is the debt, not the staff. And before they address this, I personally know Will Womack and the staff there, and they are great people. What we have to understand is what Dr. Rutland is about to tell us.
You can forget business, and politics is your future. Well, it's a good question. You're right on, and I want you to know that we are deeply aware of it, deeply sensitive to it, and embarrassed. We are already having meetings. I've met with Michelle Finley, and we are proposing plans to increase staff, rearrange the way we do things. We are trying to do the best we can with it. There are two problems. One is the systems by which financial aid is administered. The other problem is the federal government. I just need to say this to you. The federal government has so totally fouled up financial aid that it is not just ORU. Colleges and universities, public and private, all over the United States are snarled because, and the government told us last year, where's Michelle Finley? I don't want to misquote this. The government told us last year, hey, we're sorry, we got this wrong, please forgive us, we'll get it right, and they made it worse. And this year they have actually sent out a new communique saying, okay, we're sorry, we made it worse, we're going to fix it. Oh. But it's really, really a real problem. I can't fix the federal government. I'm frankly ready to run, but I can't fix the federal government. What we can fix, have to fix, will fix, and we are on it, is our own local financial aid systems. That has to be fixed. And we are deeply aware of it. It's one of those things, it's one of those problems, it's like a leaky roof. You don't know it's leaking until it's raining. And then everybody said, why didn't you fix this roof? No, I didn't know it was leaking. You know, now we'll fix the roof. Now we're on it. And we are deeply aware of the challenges.